my eyes are closed sometimes, my hands are moving, but you can feel what I'm saying, and I think it's a different way to, that's how it's like hook, line, and sinker. Like, somebody, I might go speak at an event where they're asking me to talk about domestic violence, but I don't get up there and just start spouting off statistics. Like, I might just get up from where I'm sitting and start performing a poem, like spitting, and then so now everyone's looking at me, because the speakers who have spoken before me, and while, you know, everyone has their own niche, and they're great, but they might have just heard someone say, you know, here's the statistics, this is, you know, what you can do, these are the resources, and this is all great information. But then you just got this woman just get up and just start spitting, and you're like, oh my goodness, and then I have their attention. And then once I have their attention, then I start talking about, hi, I'm Neisha C. I'm the founder of G.R.O.W. Foundation. I first started telling my story by way of spoken word. And because there's a face, and there's a pain, and there's a passion to the story. I mean, I'm telling you, this is how I'm sharing with you, this is how I started telling my story. You have to figure out, like, what works for you. You know, sometimes writing, sometimes singing, painting, praying, whatever works for you. But I just tie it all in together, because spoken word for me is still to this day, my self-expression. So when you go through something like that, and you have the courage and the yearning to get that out, what is your way of self-expression? Like, I encourage people to tell their story. You own your story. You have the right to your story. At the end of the day, nobody gets to take your truth from you. They can try to twist it all they want, but nobody gets to take your truth from you. So that's how I feel like my passion is, that I am who I am. I'm not embarrassed about anything. There's nothing you can say to me or about me that will embarrass me about my past, because I've already said everything.
Yes.
I've already lived it. So, and I don't owe an apology to anybody for what happened to me in my past. So when people go through things, like the young lady I'm assisting now, the newest one, she's in a very tough situation, but one of the things that she's going through is she's a dancer. Like, she left an abusive relationship. She was completely financially dependent on this man, and now she's like stripping to make ends meet, and she hates it. She absolutely hates it. And I asked her to meet me somewhere over this past weekend so we can sit down face to face and just talk. And she got to the place before me and did not want to go in because she felt she looked like a stripper. She was standing outside the building calling me, I don't want to go in. I feel like people are going to look at me. I look like a stripper. And I told her, no one gets to judge you. Regardless, like, no one gets to, they don't know your story. They don't know your struggle. They don't know what you're going through. Nobody, you walk in there and you have your head held high. Like, you are priceless. No one gets to make you feel this big. So, and then she walked in there, and that's my goal. Like, to teach people to recognize and know their worth. However, whatever that way of recognizing it is, just know that you are priceless. Period. Point blank. Period.
Yes, indeed, you are definitely priceless, and you are a gift. And I say it, and I don't know. Neisha has known me for a long time. I've been called conceited a day or two in my life, but it wasn't in the place.
Them green eyes.
Oh man, listen. I was full of myself, but it wasn't in that sense that I was conceited and I'm walking around thinking I'm better than anybody. It was a lot of different things that I was going through, and it's what I had to do to myself to build myself up so that I can actually survive. And when you are in that place, it's different means to getting to that. And so definitely you are God's greatest gift to this world. And I say that, and people are like, yo, that's a conceited thing to say. Like, no, I'm definitely like God's greatest gift. We all are. I mean, none of us are alike, not even a little bit. Every single one of us are different. Every single one of us have different gifts, talents, purposes. So we all are a gift, and we just need to find that gift and operate in it. And you know, when you're operating in your gift and you're operating in your purpose, you know, I'm going to come to you from a husband standpoint, because you know, there are a lot of similarities between you and my wife and what you guys do and the different things that you face on a day-to-day basis, because you're operating in your purpose. You know, how does your husband support what you do and handle and deal with, you know, the late calls, the late everything, and just the whole engulfing of you being inside of what it is that you do? Like, how does your husband handle that aspect?
My husband is like, he's my rock. He's my best friend, and he deals with it. Of course, you know, he's proud of me, and he knows what I've gone through and how passionate I am about it. And he's an artist himself, so he like did spoken word. He started off with spoken word, but he's actually like a very, very talented lyricist. So that's what we met at an open mic. And what's funny about it is, like, when I first decided to get out of my hiatus, and I said, all right, it's been 2 years, I'm ready to tell my story, and I reached out to a friend who had an open mic, like a venue, and she tried to give me a particular weekend to perform, and then told me, oh no, I can't give you that weekend, such and such artist is performing. And so it would be like later that I would find out that that artist who stole my weekend that time was my husband, not my husband. But yeah, like, and then we just like, we kept crossing paths after. Like, I dated a guy after leaving the relationship with my abuser, and that was just like hurt people date, you know, with hurt people, and it didn't work out. But like, I bumped into my now husband during that relationship, and then like again after, like, performing on my birthday, actually. And I was like, for me, that was like me. It was the first time I performed a piece about my abuse without crying, and it was on my birthday. And then I met my husband, like, actually had a conversation with him that night. But he is supportive in that he pushes me. When I'm so overwhelmed sometimes with just the emotion of everything, because this can weigh on you.
Yes.
When it can open up old wounds sometimes, or when you feel helpless and you can't. I had to learn through this whole thing that I can't save everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, I just can't. Sometimes you have to plant the seed, and as hard as it is, sometimes you have to leave people where they are, and then hope that at some point in the future they'll remember that seed you planted and be like, you know what, I remember when Neisha said this, I remember when Daniel said this, I remember, you know, like, or when your wife said this, or my husband said this. Like, you hope that they will turn around later, but to have somebody that actually believes in my vision and my purpose and my passion is just amazing. He sets certain boundaries, because if it was my way, if I had it my way, if a person calls me and she's like, I need help, no matter the time of night, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta go help her. And he's like, no, you know, you're my wife, your safety, like, you are my wife, you know, I have to protect you. So no, like, he reels me back in when I need to be reeled in. Mm-hmm. And he's just there by my side through whatever. Yeah. And I just think it's important to have someone who not only supports you and walks alongside you, but actually believes in what you're doing. Like, you ever been with somebody who didn't believe in you?
Oh yeah.
Like, that versus somebody who does. Yeah, like, it's just such a vast difference, and I just appreciate him. And sometimes he has to remind me, you know, sometimes it's hard to juggle your passion and family, and then when you're working a normal 9 to 5 and just all these things, but he's that balance for me.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you so much, you know, us husbands sometimes we don't get a good rap, man. When there's some good ones out here, it's some good ones out here, and I appreciate you like really lifting him up for what he's doing because we need it. We need it. I'm so sick and tired. There ain't no good men out here. Stop saying that, y'all. It's a lot of good men out here.
Yeah.
You just attract what you are. I didn't want to say it, but I had to say it, I'm just keep it real with you. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Have y'all Father's Day posts and all that. Watch your Father's Day coming and maybe trying to take the post away from y'all. Like,
oh, yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it is. They going down the dads, and then they going to act like they the dads. Like, you not the dad, though. I mean, I know you a single mom, but you're not the dad. You just can't be the dad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, no.
But, we're coming.
Let me know when you talk about that, but no.
I don't know. I try to keep my public perception of things to myself a lot of times because
I got you. I got you.
I don't go with public opinion. I'm a weirdo. You know me. I'm different, and I really don't care what comes out my mouth. And me being in ministry now, I have to care what comes out my mouth. So I have to just tame myself and say, all right, you know what? I'm just not gonna say anything at all, and just leave it at that. But that's just how it has to be sometimes. Now, what is the greatest mindset advice that you've received or something, from yourself that you can leave with the listeners?
I have like 3 favorite quotes. One of them is never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, because you've been torn down or knocked down once, it doesn't mean like you have to stay down. Mm-hmm. You just, as hard as it is, you find a way to get back up. And also another quote is, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. I love that one because like that's why I got Robin Sharma, I believe that's who did that quote. And
Robin Sharma, so one of my favorite writers.
You can go after what you want out here. You can, if you have a passion, if you have something that you are meant to do, then you can do it. Nobody has the power to stop you from doing that. You can do it. So be the change that, And the last one is just like I always hashtag this, from pain to purpose. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to find the purpose in your pain and, the lesson behind it, and learn from it and grow from it and just make something beautiful out of it. So that's all I got for you.
Hey, that's good stuff. That's definitely good stuff. And I'm happy you mentioned Robin Sharma. He's definitely one of my favorite writers. And outside of the Bible, he wrote my favorite book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So those who are listening, get that book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. And it is
I should get it. Okay.
One of the greatest mindset books that you'll ever read a day in your life. It will definitely bless you and put you in a much better mental space. So yes, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Now, it is about that time. So, please let everyone know how they can reach you, how they can support G.R.O.W Foundation. And hey, y'all, she did say 501c3. She's legit. You donate. That's a tax write-off. So please
in Virginia and New Jersey, right?
Yeah. So
Virginia and New Jersey.
That is what's up. Yeah. So leave your information. Let everybody know how to reach you.
You can find me or learn more about G.R.O.W at www.growfoundationva.org. You can follow me on Facebook at G.R.O.W Foundation VA. You can follow me on Instagram at grow_VA. And this, more for my spoken word, the Beautiful Disaster Instagram is BDiz. So it's BEA_DIZ. That's how you can find me.
Awesome. And what do you have coming up? Do you have any events, anything coming up with G.R.O.W Foundation? that people can get out there and support?
Yes. Sure, but it's hard because I'm all the way here in VA. So, and the website has a calendar with all the events. But since I am just newly registered and incorporated in the state of New Jersey because I wanted to give back to the women from home, too, I am planning a launch for G.R.O.W. because I just had my launch for G.R.O.W. here in March. So I'm planning one for New Jersey.